Alright guys, short and sweet one tonight. I just call it affirm the opposite. So if you know what you don't want, you automatically know what you do want. So use it as a roadmap to your advantage when you're determining what identity you want to claim. So it's past 2 a.m. here. I'm pretty tired, so I'm going to play this voice note I left to my friend. We're having a little discussion tonight, and this pretty much sums it up, so you can take a listen to it. And all my health problems, all this other stuff. So beneath all of that, I'm asking myself who I'm identifying as. I am coming back to that. Just repeatedly coming back to that. And it's like, well, if it is true that all this outer stuff in this holographic world is a reflection of how I see myself and what I'm claiming to be true, then, I mean, it seems to be pretty accurate for me. It's like I think back to when I was like 10 years old, I was always very lonely and very isolated and saw myself as not good enough and just didn't belong anywhere. And it's like the prophecies come true. You know, it's like I've lived the life of a person. It reflects to me directly that self-perception that I'm not good enough and I don't belong anywhere. I'm just left out. I'm missing out. And, my reality reflects that sentiment and that identity perfectly, like to the fucking letter. I mean, if I had to describe myself in a phrase, that would be it. It'd be like, yeah, I'm left out. I'm like lonely and isolated. I'm left out. I'm unfulfilled. I feel like I've lived my life without purpose and that, nobody's noticed me. Like I'm just like irrelevant. Like my whole life just hasn't mattered at all. And, I think about it and it's like, yeah, I mean, well, my life outwardly, my body and then what's going on has reflected that. Now, not completely, not completely. I mean, this is, like I know I've made friends, that care about me. So anyway, but yeah, I'm going back to this identity stuff and self-concept and who am I being? Because it is very easy to look at all this physical stuff and to identify it and just leave it at that. So the pertinent thing is like, who do I want to be? I mean, what kind of life would I want to have? And then how can I identify as that person? Well, it's not even how to identify as them. It's self-explanatory. It's just like, what life would I want to have? And I was thinking this last night. If you know what you don't want, you automatically know what you do want. Like you just said, knowing where my disappointments are, at least I can understand what my true priorities are. Well, that's exactly it. So I was actually writing this down as an exercise the other day. All the stuff that's just horrible. And then I just write the opposite. Like claiming the opposite to be true. So it's like I'm lonely and I'm isolated. Okay. So the affirmation for that identity could be I am surrounded by people I love and that people care about me and people that value me for who I am and what I offer and the things I express, blah, 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 something like that. What would another thing be? I'm worthless. My life is just like my life just hasn't mattered. Okay, so I can affirm, what about the identity? My life matters to everyone I come in contact with. Like I am love, I am perfection, I just radiate positivity to people. Like I bring value to people's lives. And people appreciate me for it. So, again, what's another one? What's another one? Well, anyway, it's like 2 a.m, so I'm going to have to cut it here. But yeah, that was just a thought. I'm very tired, and I've been in a very negative headspace lately, so part of this identity stuff, I'm just kind of doing it by rote. It's like practicing scales. You don't have to be feeling it, you just got to, like, memorize it. You just kind of drill it over and over again until you get the pattern kind of locked into your muscle memory, and then you can have some fun with it later. So that's kind of the thing here. It's like I'm ignoring my feelings because I really don't feel good. I just feel whatever. looking at my life and I'm just not happy with it. And it's like, okay, well, I can by rote, I can still speak with my tongue, write down on paper, I can still do this stuff where you're just claiming the opposite to be true. So whatever it is, feeling, it's easy, right? That's the roadmap to your personal affirmations, is just write down all the stuff you're most unhappy about and feel the worst about, and then just write down the fucking opposite. Write down the most polar opposite thing you can think of. And there it is, your personal affirmation for your new identity that you want to claim. So that's something I'm thinking about tonight.
All right. So that pretty much sums it up. And as I said in the message, it is super late. I got to go to bed, so I'm going to cut here.